Hello, folks. Welcome back to your new grow. It's been a very long time since I've been in front of that camera. Much too long, in fact. I didn't realize how much I would miss it, but I've really missed it. So I'm glad to be back. You can see behind me is very much a proper autumnal day. It's gray, it's miserable, but there's a few things to show you. There's a few plans to discuss. So let's go. Lots been happening in here. I've done a few bits on my side, but the plot owner has been busy. As you can see, obviously winter is about to kick in, so um, trying to save his geranium. So hopefully there's some pretty nice one there. So hopefully we'll be able to save some of those. Tomatoes are done. I'm hoping the next couple of days to do a video in the greenhouse. Quite frankly, again, the greenhouse is ready to be emptied. The tomatoes still need to be harvested. The chili still need to be harvested. And I'm actually holding off because I really want to film that bit. But I just can't find the time to film. So I'm like, rather than going, I picked a few obviously along the way because starve myself. You know, I've picked a few along the way, but most of the tomatoes, chilies are still on the plant, and I'm waiting to do a video for the harvesting. But yeah, there's been a few bits and pieces that happen in here, so I'm just gonna take you out. Uh, Hopefully, we should be able to get it done. It's a bit wet, but it's not actually raining, so I'll get you out, give you a bit of a plot tour, a bit of an update, and show you what's been done. So we'll start here in the greenhouse. So as I mentioned, um, tomato plants, two here and the other two in here are done now. They will be chopped back and discarded in the compost. On this side, the geraniums, look at the color of those. They're actually obviously being brought in the greenhouse. They've got I was going to say a second burst, but it's actually a third burst. They had another surge after the miserable summer that pretty much killed them completely. They came back in early October, and then they're coming back fully. They're absolutely gorgeous. When you walk in, when you walk in up to the plot, it's really nice to see some colors in here. But out here, folks, oh well, I will give you a full view. So you can see some changes in here. Obviously, you've probably seen that already from the opening scene. There's been some digging in there. We'll get to it in a minute. There's been quite a lot of changes in here. So, and take you around, show you this bit first. So, this is the plot owner's section. He started off with 9 of those color beds, and now he's got in the same space ish, tiny bit bigger. He's got 17. We've been trying to think how to maximize the space, the use of the space in here. So this is the layout at the moment. All that's happened really, folks, is so there's those bricks here which were going all around. So this line here has been removed, and the other one was pretty much here along there. That's been removed as well, and the slabs that were in here have been all removed as well. So 17, and potentially this line of slabs might also disappear to just leave a, oh, you were a bit sideways, to just leave a whole bed of flowers all the way around the corner. And then that potentially would allow to have, obviously the way they're placed just now, that's a small one that's there, which you probably see the difference in color. But if a bigger one was placed there, this would shift everything pretty much level with this, move those ones over, and we could, or the plot owner could either have 18 planters with a bit more space in between them, although spacing is really good. If I put my giant size 11 shoes next to this, you see that there's plenty of space. It could either be spaced out even more or slightly reduced in space and give space for another, not only another bigger one. Sorry, I meant 17, not 18. Because obviously this one will be replaced, not another one added. You still have 17, but potentially could have 20, another line of 3 by reducing the space a bit. But I think just now it is an overwhelming amount of um, planters to deal with, mostly an overwhelming amount of planters to fill up. The compost area now has a 3-bay system. The first one is actually full. I'm just opening it here for the first time in about 3 weeks. When we last done it, it was filled up to just under the ridge here, and see the much it just went down already. So I'm really looking forward in 3 weeks time to turn it over to see what it's like at the bottom. So on this side, and this is the big section that you have not seen, um, the, the wood chip as well. It's a bit of a mulching to give myself a bit of a path, something a bit clear. Believe it or not, this section, although there's a lot of weed, there meant to be some direct sowing carrots in there. There's a few, but not overly successful. Cabbages have been sorry, that's not cabbages, that's calabrese. So the broccoli, some of them have been doing okay, but some have been completely eaten live. The the courgette that was in that section here has been discarded probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That section here is again, you have a few successful-ish spring onions, but overall it's not been great. I really put it down to the quality of the soil and the fact that there's no really much nutrient left in that soil. This section here, I have attempted my first trial at what would be resembling a no-dig. So these are my onions and garlic in there, which have been sown or planted on the 22nd of September. Um, I have just topped up with, I believe it's 9 bags of compost. I've not turned it over. I've literally just topped up with the compost. Left it. The rest, you probably remember, I've added the compost, tried to turn it over or rake it in a bit. This one I've literally just topped up with the compost on top of the bed of the soil, the bare soil. And apart from a few weeds, which obviously is to be expected, nothing nothing unwanted really grows in there. We need so much compost to fill up those beds. Yeah, I'm actually at the point where all this section, I want to cover it up with a thick layer of both compost and start from there, and then build up over time with my own mulch for the winter, and try the no-dig approach. It's very strange because I have said for a few years now I'm not interested in no-dig. I don't believe in it at all. This is, I'm not going to say the word, but it starts with B, and actually It might actually be working. It might actually be working. It might actually be the way forward in terms of maintenance, less weed. I don't need to turn the ground over. You know, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot, and I think this is probably the approach that I will take. There is successes, there is major failure this year, but most importantly, there is progress. Like going from 9 raised beds to now 17 and potentially 20. It's just it's amazing. You know it's crazy to think that in slightly larger space, but not really much. I mean, I've not worked out the square footage extra, but it's not even that much more space in there. But it's just like working around and trying to maximize the space. My side, obviously, having now uh, 200 plus onions growing for next year and doing quite well actually. The one that have been pulled out, some of them have obviously been pulled out before they started rooting, so they're still quite small. But I've noticed a couple that have been pulled out um, with a lot of green on them, so it's going well. Hopefully, the rot will not get to them. Well, time will tell, but it's going well. The garlic, pretty much every single one of the garlic cloves are picking up. Tomatoes have been okay. They were late this season, not the one in here, but the one in the greenhouse at home, which obviously you'll see in a future video in the next few days. But they are doing well as well. They've picked up late, but they've picked up nonetheless. So it's going fairly well. Things are moving in here. That's the most important. Things are moving. It's difficult. There's so much going on. Obviously, we both have our family stuff. We've got our workload. We've got other things going on. We are both involved in a community garden as well, which does take quite a lot of our time. It's very busy. It's difficult to juggle with everything. So I think we should be proud of what we've done this year. Obviously, there's 4 fruit trees, sorry, which still need to be planted. There's still some shrubs, fruit shrubs, which need to be pulled out. There's new fruit shrubs that need to be planted in the ground. I've got one last job to do before I go today, and I've got a tape measure here. So I managed to collect, a friend of mine managed to collect 4 spanking new pallets, identical pallets for me. We've been talking about this for a while now with plot owner, but we really want a wee gate at the entrance, although we would like as well a wee fence, which right at the beginning I've talked about a fence along the side, because there's the dip. It might not happen. We've got obviously the bends now that are kind of making a barrier. I had um, the sunflowers growing along there as well, which served as a bit of a protection. But I think next year I will use this strip there to grow something, some flowers, whatever, some whatever will go in there, something that will be in there and will act as a natural barrier rather than building a fence. So I've got a tape measure on. I'll go and get the measurements just now, and I'll catch up in the next video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.